All right, hi everybody. Welcome back to Materia D&D, part 2 of session 117, where the DM takes the player's weapon away.
After my armor already.
Yeah, just I'm just a terrible, terrible human slash DM. Um, yeah, so the menagerie have made it to the heart of the mountain, as they've called it, to the monastic forges, to the billows, to where the fox spirit lies. Uh, Davis and his companions found a gong upon a 100 or so foot column, and Davis used Hearthguard to strike it. Upon striking it with some force, the gong sounded. A dragonoid-like creature replied to the gong's bellows. What does a gong do? Does a gong gong
Yeah, the gongs.
to the
Yep.
gonging of the gong with
Or
a
or
roar part?
occasionally bongs.
It bongs. Um, and uh, Hearthguard broke into two pieces and later crumbled into dust. Upon trying to summon it back, Davis was met with searing white-hot pain, and the dragonoid creature replied with a roar, diving into the pool of lava. The striking of the gong also shattered a barrier around the interior caverns city and caused the flow of lava from the various points to pick up and truly, well, like how do I put it? Like a faucet. That's what I was saying. Like if a faucet was kind of just on, just turn it all the way to high. Um, it took a little time for the group to notice, but at the base of the pillar that they climbed to strike the gong, they saw initially there was four statues, uh, a bronze cast, however garbed, uh, two dwarves, one male, one female, a male humanoid, and a male, probably genasi. Uh, that after some time, a few minutes after the gong was struck, they seemed to begin to awaken, almost like as if putting coals into the furnace, coughing up soot, but eventually coming to consciousness, eyes burning red, and started a conversation with the menagerie, where they've learned that Davis was the one that brought a Hearthguard. And yes, I said a Hearthguard because the menagerie had learned that there had been many, or at least more, uh, to the forges to strike the gong to awaken the meteoric forges. However, they learned very quickly that Davis did not inherit or did not have the Hearthguard passed down to him, but rather he found it, which was not necessarily expected, as they learned that the forges were put to sleep by the advice of Agni, the fox spirit, uh, to buy them time to find a means to get rid of the greed and to cure the sickness.
Sorry, that
And
wasn't for you.
gotcha, reading. And realizing that their machinations did not come to fruition. Uh, However, also understanding that Davis did forge some sort of bond, as he described, with Hearthguard, and perhaps with Agni, as he described it being what it was able to do and what he was able to manifest with it, that the four bronze casts uh, decided the best course of action would to go deep into the city to go to the active billows to strike up the forges to make the fires dance and to breathe something into existence with the will of Davis and perhaps what spark of remnant of Agni he carries with him through Hearthguard. So crossing the pool of lava uh, fairly successfully. Some fatigue kicked in on some of the members. They did eventually get into the city proper and then navigate their way to the central ziggurat, standing nearly 10 stories tall, alive with fire, flame, illuminated from the inside, As the menagerie are in there, they see the beautiful stonework and craftsmanship and also metalwork as the 8 inner bellows all look uh, are, I guess, like, how would you say, are designed in such a way to represent a roaring fox's head that moves up and down as the fires billow out, uh, and close as the fire dissipates. Uh, there are uh, dozens and dozens of working anvils, various contraptions and mechanisms that use chains and pulleys and levers to move things on the ceiling and different levels. There's things hanging, things swinging, moving, almost like tools and other extensions that would allow someone to operate and control very large pieces of equipment potentially. Uh, but yeah, the menagerie and the 4 bronze cast have made it to the inner bellows. What do you guys wish to do?
How do we get started? Like, let's go. I'm just like constantly pushing them along and being like, "What do we do? What do you need? What do I need to do?"
Ah, we need we need raw supplies first. There should be a store to the western side of the bellows. Try to find appropriate metals. We're looking for adamantine. We're looking for uh, steels, casts, anything you can find. Bring them. We'll see what we can work with. We're also looking for tools. It seems that some are still in place, but if some of you can help us find additional uh, hammers, additional tongs, whatever, they'll just start to kind of go through what they need. And then as Davis, you start to kind of maybe head to help and say, no, you stay. We need to understand your bond and your connection with Agni.
Very well.
Uh, so I will ask the group, and this is like kind of like use your imagination, kind of think of what you will. If you need to do a little research, feel free. Like, if you need to know like what goes into making a billet or yada yada, you know. Um, what would you look for? What would you try to find or contribute in the initial part? We're not actually getting to the point where we're making the weapon, but like, what are your thought process through all this? Just any of you, whoever wishes to contribute, like, kind of cue me in.
To assist in forging a weapon?
Yeah, but how would you go about that? My question.
How would I contribute? Hmm.
Like, would
Oh,
you assist in for the raw? Go ahead.
okay, you mean in general or specifically with the
No, we're not doing specifics
bullets?
yet, but like, what would you imagine would be needed, right? Like materials, and if what? Okay, then what
Fuel.
material?
Fuel for the fire, for the bellows. Coal
Manual.
or charcoal.
Or Karos, you look at the
Oh yeah,
bellows and you
lava.
realize that those are lava driven.
Ooh, fancy.
All right, well I did my part.
That
plus.
would be good for heat.
It's
You stole
it's
my
hot.
answer.
It's hot already. Got it.
That could melt some stuff.
that would, yeah.
Um, I'd be curious about like a leather grip.
I mean,
But
they'd still
I'm
need
not sure if they
carbon,
have that down
right?
here. Ooh,
Mm,
are these
okay.
carpeted?
Although you would also know that Hearthguard was entirely metal.
Okay, so it had nothing, no grip. Okay, like to that extent, yeah. I'll try.
And you guys can also, like, if you were to think, like, how would you maybe, if you guys need a little time, this is your opportunity to think of, like, how would you contribute to helping make Hearthguard in another way, or Davis's weapon in another way.
Currently working on that idea.
Okay,
Mhm.
got it.
I'm trying to reach for something based on the fire resistance. If I can help hold something or move
Uh,
something.
I like
I'll
it.
just roll up my sleeves and be like, oh, toasty.
Okay, well, just keep that in mind because questions may be asked here in a little bit. So
I'll be the
Right.
tongs.
With my
Oh,
I can
eight
make
strength.
water,
Ah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
which you need to dunk the hot stuff in. So
Quench.
I can fill some barrels with water.
To quench.
I like
Yeah.
that. Go. So yeah. Um.
I
I kind
whisper
of
to
I like that.
Al.
I kind of picture you, Rock, kind of finding whatever vessels are available, right? Uh, and there are some that you see that are already filled with some liquid. And as you go over there and you kind of dip your finger to see what it is, it's a type of oil, and it's meant for like oil quenching. But you do see that there are other ones that are empty and of a similar design, and you fill those up with water to help with the quenching process if needed. So go ahead, I guess, mark off a spell slot, right? For create, store water,
Yep,
or whatever you
absolutely.
do. Cool beans. Um,
I'll whisper to Al. Be like, you don't think they like do, you know, live sacrifices for this stuff, do you? Everything's pretty mystical.
I was gonna give him the
Heard
side
about-
eye. you know, you never know, but they seem inorganic. I see what you mean.
There's a really violent tribe that would, whenever they made like the masterwork weapon for their new war leader, they'd like quench it in the blood of a captured enemy or something like that.
That is
I don't know if
incredible.
it was any good, but they did it, or at least that's what people said.
Al starts writing down lyric ideas.
Quench it in the blood of my
Rain
enemies.
and blood.
a blade quench the blood of his enemy.
uh, we did the math. 2,000 enemies.
For a little dagger.
How much blood must a man bleed? Quench a sword for the gods.
Is bunches of blood. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's worth a shot asking them if they want a live sacrifice. To wait, where's your live sacrifice? What are you talking about? I'm gonna glance at Loon, and glance back at him, kind of mad, like, "What are you doing? What's your plan? What are you talking about?"
And Lunan will just start like going over and just picking up like loose tools and kind of just bringing them over to a pile. Get like a loose belt, pick it up, put it in a pile. Looks at you, contributing. So as the billows work through whatever mechanisms and possibly magic that keeps them aflowing, it's like every other billow will either be closed or open, and it's basically the 8 fox heads is opening and roaring, and closing. Temperature here definitely gets pretty fierce. Not to the point where it's like where you're crossing the bridge, but it does get hot in here. The 4 split up into 2 teams. The uh, female dwarf and the Genasi-like individual go over and begin to gather and check some of the ores and the raw materials that y'all had brought. Lunlin happened to find a container that had some already precasted billets in there.
Good girl.
So that would possibly help a lot as well in this process. The other 2, the male dwarf and the humanoid, they are, with you, Davis, and so you spoke of a bond or a connection.
Yeah.
While the orange hair is visible, what else besides this protection can you
Like, what cool stuff could I do from it, or what?
Any detail? Have you conversed with Agni? Have you?
Yeah, kind of. Not directly. Uh, actually, my friends apparently saw Agni. So we were fighting the smoke dragon thingy, the green purple dragon thing. Yeah, we fought it, and I kind of like flexed a little bit, like
We wounded it, actually.
Ran away
uh,
with the flow between his legs. A
but
lot of fun.
the I at one point I was knocked out, like I was just unconscious, and they said that Agni came out of Hearthguard or something. I like I said I was unconscious. I don't know, but they said that they saw something that resembled a fox, and it said something like "Come find me," or I don't know. And that's like one of the main reasons we're here is
Interesting. A vestige of Agni's influence.
yeah, it's a fox
Very
with the
well.
missing eye. So, and I've had visions of this place. I've had visions of uh, something striking the ground. Something coming from the sky and striking the ground that I think is related to this. I had visions of that purple green smoke monster thingy. These are all in my dreams. I was able to, like, at one point in one of my dreams, I was at home, and then, like, every step I took, like, the ground would crack open further and further, and then eventually I just, like, went into the ground, and I was essentially falling into what looked like kind of this place, and then I'll just kind of, I guess I can't really look around, I'm inside of a building. But, yeah, it looked similar to this, or at least, with lava and stuff. I don't remember if there were the buildings there. I was, it's a dream. You don't really see everything. And yeah, like, and then it just made me hit harder and hit better. Um,
Well,
yeah.
it certainly seems that there was indeed a true connection with Hearthguard, and then in turn, a piece of Agni's consciousness. Um,
Yeah, I came here to find out more
animates.
about that. Like, why me? Why, how? And
I I am uncertain why, but it seems you had some quality that the fragment of Agni within the blade was able to sense and deem you an acceptable wielder. So you have strong character.
well,
That is a requirement. But
awesome. Thanks.
and having a means of communication through the dreamscape makes sense. Perhaps it was not able to directly communicate with you because, well, either the sickness, it's weakened after its eye was taken, or perhaps it was the
Yeah, he
fact that
really
you were
wants that
truly
eye
not,
back. He is not happy about having that taken away.
well,
Like,
it
he yelled at
represents,
me, like, get him, get my eye back.
eh, from what we understand, each eye represents half of Agni's true self.
Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty
So
bad to have him missing that.
what you see, if it is indeed that serpent-like creature, is our Lord Agni. It is but a husk of his true self. That
Is it?
is
Should we be worried about it? Like,
indeed
okay.
for even a husk of something as powerful as Agni would be terrifying to face. And
Well, let's hope we can just cure him.
that is not what we thought we were going to have to do. We were
Yeah.
hoping that a cure would be brought to us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it has, and just not in the means you expected.
That's a fair point.
But thank
So,
you for your help and for your knowledge. In spite
It
of
is.
the hardships, the unexpected hardships.
It is our duty. We answer the call. We answer the gong.
Yeah, I guess I probably realized that all along too. I just didn't actually realize it, but I'm realizing it now. But, I knew. Just didn't know.
So, um, let us learn about you so that when we begin forging and try to express your will upon the blade and into the fire, it is for you that it is crafted, not for another.
I'm at your mercy.
Very well. So well, I will tell you, the vision that you had seen of an object crashing, coming from the sky, I believe.
A long time ago, though.
Yes, that was the initial form of Agni.
Oh.
He
Okay.
came after who knows how long, slumbering in the cold dark. He represents a spark of the cosmos, the stars beyond. Perhaps brought here as a gift or by coincidence. The mountain we stand in is, well, the aftermath of his landing. The form he took, we're not entirely sure. Why a fox? But it was what?
I mean, it's like everything around here has to do with foxes. That's why, probably. Like,
But
there's foxes
not
all over
every.
the place. It's called the Foxwoods. There's a town literally called Vulpine that's
All
like we're in
those
the
were made
fox area.
after. Yes, but all those were made after
Oh,
he
yeah, that makes
arrived.
more sense. Okay.
He was once a much more prevalent entity. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
perhaps, some of his lingering influence has, trickled and faded away as to why it is here, but it has remained.
Got it.
Um, but yes, what you see before you out there roaring mindlessly, and, well, that is not the Agni we know. Agni was generally a playful entity, cunning and sly, but also fun, and enjoyed sharing.
Well, he's quite
Uh,
angry every time I see him. Understandably.
uh, he is the one that brought the billows to life. He is the one that, well, seemingly showed the secrets to some of the original Forge masters.
Which,
And it's
you guys
true.
are Forge Masters, right?
We are some generations removed, but yes, we are. The four of us are some of the most prestigious of our kind. We are the four that remain dormant to, well, guard the gong, to be the first to answer its call. And, well, as you know, our plans and machinations did not go as planned. Well, as we've seen it, but we'll make do.
That's what we
And
all do.
yes, and to answer your question from much earlier, there are many Hearthguard. They are they were forged to be a means to, well, return. Though the forms may be different based on the wielder that they were initially crafted for. Just happened to be that the one that you had was a glaive. So, but to understand what the magic and what the power is, that is why you see it in certain form. The constellations represent the sky, the cold, the radiance that, well, Agni came from. The fire is, well, its will, and its expression upon this world. So, and to tell you the truth, the large crystalline structure, that is the actual object that came crashing here. So,
Wow.
very well. So, Mr. Davis Cantrell,
Is it so? Is the name important? Because that's not the name I was born to.
Perk up my ears. Oh,
it,
Liar.
I just want to make sure everything's right.
well, it is. Who do you see yourself as? Are
Uh,
you not Davis?
I'm
Are you
Davis.
someone?
I've been Davis for I don't know, like a year or so now.
Well,
That's what all
is
my
that
friends here know me as. That's what all of the good things that I've done in, well, not all the good things, but so many of the good things that I've done is Davis.
well, then it seems like that is your name. No?
Yeah, I just, I just want to make sure that there's not something weird about, being dishonest or lying or something like that. Because that to me, it's not a lie. That's not. That's what I am.
Very well.
Okay.
That should be just fine. So, trying to think how they would ask this. Um, besides the
Fill out this
hair.
questionnaire.
Yeah, no, they want to understand. Besides the hair, what else? If is there any other physical changes or physical markings to represent your bond?
Yeah. Uh, so I'll take the chain shirt off, show him the claw marks or whatever, the claw mark looking scratches on the back. These started after the the weapon kind of, became mine, sort of became one with me.
Part of the awakening process.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
You have literally been branded. Interesting.
Kind of cool, but
Eh,
also kind of weird.
well, it's interesting that it manifested in such a form, but it's perhaps makes sense based on the shape that agony takes now.
Huh.
Hmm. Very well.
Uh, Actually, yeah. If anybody else can think of anything, I think that's it. But I don't actually.
I'm gonna I'm gonna take out from the everybody's shared bag space a holy
Yeah.
censer that I found. I'm gonna light some of my cheap incense in it
Okay.
and take my wand out
Okay.
and say, I'll keep the billows hot. And using the wand, I'm gonna use control flame.
Oh,
I'm a wizard today.
Yeah.
a little bit of help goes a long way. Why not?
And I'm gonna attach the sensor to like my pants. So it's like just going around the room where I'm needed with the wand. Playing playing
I
with the
like that.
wand.
I like that. That's flavorful. That's very adding your own twist. Mm.
And I think that's it.
No, I like it. Um, so Davis, would you be so kind to endure the pain of attempting to call out to the powers that you tap into for summoning the weapon?
Sure. Let me sit. Let me sit when I do it, because I'm afraid I'll keel over. So I'll kind of sit
We don't
cross-legged.
know actually. This is why we are trying to
Yeah. No,
understand.
it sucks. Like, it hurts. Yeah, it was almost really bad. Okay. Here goes nothing. So I'll sit cross-legged and then attempt to summon Notcard.
Okay.
I'll reach my right hand out, as if
Yep.
something's going to appear in it. But
Yeah. All right. So I need to know, what is everyone doing roughly around this time and place? So just doing around with the bellows. You can literally say, if you weren't thinking of anything, you could say watching what's going on. That's fine. But I'm just kind of curious if anything has come to mind for anybody. God damn that idiocracy.
Dayton.
Bite. All right.
50-50. I almost want to stay close to them to, I don't know, try and be more hands-on, but me being little experience and them being timeless masters, I'm like, maybe let them do that.
Hey, that's why I'm asking. Like, if anything comes to mind, right?
Mhm.
Whatever makes you want to do.
The heat wouldn't bother me, so I feel like I'd just be asking them constantly, like, can I move anything? Can I help? Can I, just kind of things like that. See if there's a.
Oh, so you're gonna be with the female dwarf and the genasi, as they're the
Mhm.
ones that are actually drawing out the billets and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. You know what? The more the friends participate, perhaps the better a weapon we can make.
Yeah.
You know him
Yeah.
better. Very well.
It's gonna be a work of art.
Uh, when we call out for what we need, we'll trust you to gather. Very well.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I was doing stretches.
And they'll start working, incorporating you into what they're doing. Um, like the best way I can put it, they work fast. They work in like perfect sync.
Mm.
Um, when I say fast, they don't like, it's not like superhuman fast. They just work fast, if that makes sense, right? It's not like it's there's no downtime in any motion that they're doing. The other one is already reaching for what's needed before the other one even is done with what they're working on. Okay. So, um, but Al, you were there observing and there to answer, you know, the call as needed if they need you to go grab something.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, helpful. So Davis, as you're, sitting down, reaching your hand out to summon your back exposed now. Um, can you roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Yep. No scars, no totem, I
No,
assume.
no.
Got
This is
it.
something
Ooh,
big.
21.
21. Still not high enough, but very good.
Because the highest I can roll is a 22.
Still not high enough. But
Okay,
I didn't know. So right, like
that's
I
fine.
have these. So um, that's actually kind of funny. It's not like it meant to be like a dick move, but I was just like,
No,
oh,
yeah.
people might have like a +5, so
Warlord's not proficient.
yeah, I know it's a balance thing.
No, it's fine. I get it.
So all of you, as you're kind of either observing or helping where you can, trying to understand what's going on. Perhaps even like Dregnar's even just on lookout, waiting for agony to find you guys potentially. Uh,
You mean
you
Forest
reach
Boy is
out.
not familiar with all these like industrial processes? What the heck?
Yeah, I mean, no. um, as you go, you reach out to summon Hearthguard. That white hot pain hits you. You can't help but to yell and scream in pain, and the sounds echo in and out. And they drown out the sounds of the billows briefly, and the chains moving, and the hammering, and the drawing out of the of the billets and everything. And then Davis, you just pass out.
Whoa.
When Davis passes out, a fierce roar is heard echoing throughout the chambers, similar, most definitely, Agni responding to the third attempt to try to, harness his powers. Dragnar is on the lookout, so if someone wants to give me a perception check for Dragnar, please do.
I can do that.
Thanks.
Ooh. 22 total.
Darn.
So yeah, he definitely he'll hear, guys, what is going? And he looks back and then sees that you pass out. He's keeping his eyes trained, and he'll just, is everything okay? Is that supposed to oh God, what's going on? Trying to focus. There's this moment where Dregnar is kind of torn between running to Davis's side to check on him and keeping his watch out there. Davis, as you feel yourself pass out, this is where I like to ask my player to maybe give me an idea is if you were to have an internal uh like an internal world, like your head world kind of thing, like your conscious world, what would it be like? It can be abstract, it can be something fundamentally rooted, it could be something based in your background.
Yeah, it would be like I was a little wanderer when I was a little kid, so it would be just like kind of I guess, is it the Jade Expanse up there?
Mhm.
So yeah, kind of just some of the wilds around there.
Okay. So you find yourself yelling and screaming in agony. And then the next thing you know, you're walking through green fields. Familiar field, home-like fields. Uh, the sky is off though. The sky is parted down the middle. Half of it daytime, half of it nighttime. The sun on the daytime is just overexposed and way too big, almost taking up maybe like a third of the sky. The night side is hundreds of constellations, none of which you understand or recognize. The field that you're walking through is of like an autumn season where the grasses and the hay and that are not vibrant green. They're not that jade color. They're the yellows, the oranges, the reds. And as you're walking, the wind is blowing and moving. You're not walking through a field of grasses and plains that originally you thought you were. But as you're kind of taking your senses, you're in a field of fire, crackling and burning, though not you. To the distance, there is your home. Fine, undamaged, unscarred. It sits where the sky, in front of you, and where the sky kind of gets drawn and lost beyond the woods and the horizon line. It sits almost directly in the center of the night, being cut, the sky being cut in half, day, night. As you're moving, you swear, you sense that something is here with you, just darting through the flaming planescape, just kind of. Do you do anything?
Yeah, so after sizing up the situation, I guess realizing that something may have been special about this, that now I maybe as part of this process I'll actually call out and just say, Agni, are you there? We're trying to help you. I need you. We need you. Hello?
You'll hear childish laughter. Sorry, like 6, 7-year-old kid running and laughing, and you'll see where like the wind blows on the daytime side, and the field kind of parts the flames, and you see a little you, um, glowing bright hot, running through the fields, and then as you cross the threshold, instead of being glowing bright and hot, Ned, what you see is almost like your skeleton being illuminated through the skin, but it's like a constellation running through. Just a kid playing. And then you'll hear another laughter, different, playful, but doesn't sound necessarily like human. It sounds more like maybe like a creature laughing. And then you feel something brush up against you and then dart back into the flames.
Chasing it.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Let's see. Bad. 11.
11. You snap this thing, chase it into the fields of fire. And as you're kind of running, looking around, you lose track of it. The only thing you see is your home, which is really that one focal point, other than the divide in the sky. It's your home off to the distance.
So I can't even hear that slightly off laughter anymore.
It's either like once brushed up against you.
So yeah, I guess I will start kind of slowly pacing towards that, but kind of calling out as I go, like, Agni, I think, yeah, I think we need to come together on this, and I'll just keep walking towards what looks like my home.
You hear after about the third time, calling out to him, you hear the laughter again.
As soon as I hear that, I'm darting towards it.
Okay. As you do, you rush back, and it kind of lines you up in the center, and you look around, and you're trying to find it. Go ahead and give me another perception check.
Alright. It's much better. 24 total.
Nice, that worked. Uh, you start scanning, and you're kind of moving. You rush, and then you kind of stop and kind of scan the area. Don't see anything. You don't see. You just see the field of flames. You see the sky. You see the house. But then you look up, and then you see that the overexposed sun on your left-hand side. It's almost like the form of like a curled foxtail, and it's just burning. The shape is off, but it looks almost like a curled foxtail. And on the night sky, some of the constellations have kind of linked up and synced up to make almost like the head of a fox. It's kind of looking at you.
Like, come hither kind of look.
Just kind of like like it's made eye con it's made eye
Yeah, I was gonna
contact
say,
with
yeah,
you.
actually, if I can, I will make what I think is eye contact and be like, Agni? You came from the skies, right? So that could be you, Agni?
And a very jovial, energetic, kind of uh, playful voice and mannerisms. If you can imagine, like the sky having mannerisms. So, hi, Davis.
Oh, Hi. Are you
What?
okay? They said you were sick.
I mean, this part of me is okay. The part that's with you.
That's awesome. So you've been with me ever since Hearthguard, right?
Uh, that I that's how it works. Yeah. That's me. Hi,
We're trying to save you, but
but I'm fine.
well,
Well,
you are fine, but inside the heart of the mountain, it's bad.
oh, the me. Because I'm
Yeah,
just a fragment of me. You mean like the me.
yeah, I guess. Yeah. It's not doing so
Yeah.
great. We're trying to help, but Hearthguard it the actual weapon it broke, and so like I'm missing out on some of the good stuff that I can do to try and help us. So we were trying to
Why
make
would you
something
be missing
different.
out?
Sorry?
It's just a weapon. It's just a weapon. Why are you missing out?
Well, it helped me do a lot of cool stuff. It gave me powers that I used to do what I think was the right thing to do, and
Did it?
I think so. Davis kind of thinks back. Like,
I
yeah,
mean,
it did, right?
maybe
Didn't it?
it did. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
no. I mean, it is a weapon, and usually violence and things like that aren't great. But we were taking out people who were doing bad stuff.
yeah. But try to think of it this way. What was the weapon?
I mean, it was a glaive. Was it
Mm,
this about yay big? Because
no,
there's
no,
a
no,
bunch
no.
of them. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about.
That's a fair point. No, I'm the fragment that was in the glaive that was forged for the stern brow holder.
So yeah, you know what it was.
Yeah.
Wait, do you
But
mean like
like,
what was it though?
yeah, what was the glaive?
Well,
What was the weapon?
it was. At first, I didn't know, and I still don't really know. But at the very least, it made me feel like. I mean, I guess it was really just this connection, but it made me feel like good enough to do what I want to do to like make things better for people and to it gave me the confidence and kind of the what I thought the powers and stuff that I needed to do what I wanted to do. So it
Okay.
was
Good answers. Yep.
yeah, I think it just made me a better version of what I maybe hope to be.
Yeah. I'll give you a secret. It was just a key. That's all that it was.
To unlock the forge, which we're gonna make a new weapon, right?
Um, it does that, but it's also a key to fill in the blank. You can do it.
To
Have some fun here. It's not meant to be
making
difficult.
making me better, to making me a better version of myself.
Hey, you're key to yourself. Good job.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. It tests and trials. It's what we do. We when you're one of it doesn't matter. You figured it out. Okay, cool. So you really did understand the whole bond connection thing. So basically, just for you to understand, hi, I'm Agni. I'm a fragment of Agni that was forged into the weapon that you were able to wield. You've proven yourself worthy to understand my riddle and my games.
So
Means
wait.
that you're okay.
So even though I didn't inherit this, those statue guys we're talking about. Normally these things are passed down and
There's
inherited.
there's safeguards in place. I can
Yeah,
still
but like
read the
even if I
points
had
of the riddle.
inherited it, would and I banged the gong, would it still have broken? And they're just wrong.
Absolutely. It's the weapon is just a shell.
You're tricky, but I like it. I kind of like it.
How are you supposed to know oneself if you can't lose stuff?
Yeah, no, I've definitely lost some stuff, but
Yeah, good job.
here I am. So,
Well, I'm assuming you're not here alone, right? Because I mean, I'm a
no,
fragment in you. I'm not actually aware of what's going on completely.
yeah. So I'll look around like, oh, I'm here. Oh no, yeah, no. I guess me is that what the me is not alone.
Good. Because Mimi or you shouldn't be alone. Because if you went back to the forges alone, oof.
No, no. Gosh, I would have come alone. But my friends, they're just honestly, they make me even better than what Hearthguard makes me. Frankly, they're I don't know. Like I don't know what I'd do without them at this point. But thankfully, they were here to help. So
There's a moment where the impression of the fox's head in the sky, right? Like made of the constellations. You see like one constellation kind of droop down on his cheek and the little shooting star falls down. He's like, hey, you're honestly like the first guy to get it in a while.
oh, so
You're
there've
nothing
been
without your
others.
friends. That have never, well, I mean, the blade never broke, right? They never figured it out, right?
Okay.
It's meant to be impermanent. It's a mastercrafted thing, but you have to be able to lose something to gain something better. Yes? Maybe?
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
now that you say it, it makes so much sense, and it's like it.
Makes you feel
You're not
stupid?
even just talking about the glaive either, right? Like you're talking about other stuff.
Uh, that's the whole point of all
Yeah,
of this.
yeah, I'm learning. Okay. Yeah, no, that's totally right.
Alright.
But
Well,
since
this is.
we're at a place that's a really cool fortune, could I get a weapon anyway? Like I don't really need it. I've got my friends. I've got my goals. Like
No, I
this is a
mean,
badass
no, let's be
forge.
honest. You need it. You can't punch things or kick things
I could
as
I could punch some
effectively.
stuff. Like
No, no, no. But let's be honest. Let's be honest here.
okay, I'm not gonna turn it down. That's for sure. So
No, I got it. But listen, this is where you had to make some sort of revelation understanding.
yeah,
The hot, the cold, the bright, the dark, all of that. You can be both at the same time. You can be you. You can have others supporting you. But also, everything's a game. Have some fun.
I'm gonna use that one for sure.
Yeah. So here's the problem though. The Mimi that's out there that's sick, you need to stop Mimi.
Well, we want to cure you, right?
Sure. I mean,
Well, you know what?
it's a husk,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna get that. I was gonna get there. Like you said, this your fragment of you is in here, and that's just so like that thing is not really you. There's all sorts of you, and destroying that one thing won't destroy you.
Eh, After all, I'm not bound by your rules.
Whoa, that's whoa, nice.
Eh, it's kind of one of the little perks of being whatever I am. But I would like,
Oh, so you do see like Davis like pause for a second. Like I really want to ask a question here, but I don't even know what question I would ask at this second. But go ahead.
uh, eh, listen, I'm a lot of things. I will get angry at times. I
Oh,
will
I've
get
seen it.
frustrated. Yeah, I'm assuming that expression of me is the expression of me that has lost something.
Okay.
So, I'll tell you this. To get all of Agni back, you're gonna have to find what was taken from me.
That's the
Eventually.
plan.
But, just a little bit of me is still strong enough to do a lot of stuff. And do a lot of good. And you pass. You seem like a good person to be in, well, to carry on a little bit of my spark. So now it just comes down to you to, well, figure out the shape of your will. Let your friends help.
Even if I
Perhaps.
tried to keep them away, they wouldn't.
Huh?
So they'll help me no matter what. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
you
what
got
they
some
do.
good friends. Yep, yep. So, yeah, nice to actually meet you.
Same.
Uh, Davis, not Davis. Cantrell?
David, no, it's Davis.
No. Remember, I'm in your head.
No, I know. Yeah, I was. Yeah, that's not what I was born as, but I'm Davis now.
It's a good answer. Keep it. It's a good name.
Thank you.
Agni isn't even my real name. It's what they
Ah.
gave me. I liked it. I would like to be back to my normal self so I can run through the woods again. So, when you have the chance,
My first priority.
doesn't have to be first, as long as it's somewhere on the list.
Deal.
All right. Well, do you know how to get out of here?
Uh, no.
Go home.
Okay.
Just take
I'm
it easy.
sprinting.
So as you're sprinting, you see the entire time that you're running, you'll see like your memories or apparitions of you as a kid playing through the fields, working in like the one of the, like the outposts, like the sheds or the shacks. Remind me, did your canon say you have siblings or not?
No, I
You've
do
gone
not.
back and forth.
I have no
Okay, so
siblings.
just mom and dad.
Yep.
You'll see like your memories of your folks.
Yep.
You know,
We had
and then
livestock
when
and
you
stuff
get
as pets, and
yeah, exactly. So eventually you get to the front door and you go to reach it for the knob or the latch or whatever it is, open it. And as you do, when you open it, you're met with the white searing light and the sound of you screaming at your face.
nice.
And then you come through on the ground screaming. For everyone else, it was just a moment. It was like a flash. And like you hear the end part of the roar still of agony out there roaring. Davis, you're sweating. The the two bronze casts that are with you are like kind of looking over you, kind of helping you get up. And you can see that where they put their hands on their shoulders as they kind of remove it, the metal portions of their hands that had like touched your brand marks are like searing red hot.
Cool.
And they're like,
They captured the essence.
"This'll do."
But wait, did you know what was gonna happen?
No, there's we don't. We knew something would happen. This feels in our hands like this will do.
Yeah. No, that was. Yeah. Proceed. Don't let me get in your way.
Now, for clarity's sake, for the rest of y'all, the roaring happened. Dregnar will call out and say, "Guys, guys, 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 it's pissed!" And he will point out whoever wishes to get within, a viewing distance that this guy, he's a rushing over, like kind of like splashing, splooshing, alligator swimming through the lava, getting up to the base of the ziggurat and starting to start climbing up. So we can end it
Uh-oh.
here, or we can figure out what you guys want to do and go for about another 15 or 20 minutes. I kind of defer to Kyle since you're the last one to come today.
Get your money's worth.
Oh, you don't need to stretch it on my account. I've been drained
Yeah.
by youths.
By them Utes. Them Utes
Two
been
Utes.
sucking out my life force.
Yeah, so please don't. And then my dog barking at said youths. But yeah. I mean, if youths.
I love that. Yeah, what's the name of that movie? I
My
can't even
cousin
think of it.
Vinny.
My cousin Vinny. Thank you. It's just a good movie. No, that's what I'm just checking because like this is a good stopping point, but there could be another good stopping point here shortly. So I'm just checking with the group and you first. So don't want to rob you of D&D.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I've just kind of been listening
Gotcha.
and like leaning back in my chair.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot that happened while you were out.
Sorry, guys, it's my arc now.
It's all good. Boop. There you go. That feels better. So let's go ahead and do that since James already departed. I'll go ahead.
I
and
enjoyed that, by the way.
Nice.
Mhm.
That
It
is
was
a
like
visual.
just kicking back and getting lore while eating Cheez-Its for a moment.
That's a good
You're
job.
eating Cheez-Its too?
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
eating old taco meat that I made yesterday with my Cheez-Its.
Oh my
Noise.
god.
All right, I'm ending the recording there. Bye, recording.